Now here we are going to discuss about simple storage service S3. That means we are going to talk about object storage. Now here what we are going to do, we are going to create bucket. In our case we will create the bucket unet demo website, and it should be unique, globally unique, otherwise it will give you the error. Then what we are going to do, we are going to upload one object. The name of the object is going to be firewall jpg. How we are going to upload, that means user can download the object by using the internet, and where we are going to put that, we are going to put that in S3 bucket. Now let us go to the S3 console. So we have logged in as a AWS console, and we will search for the S3 service. So what it is saying, scalable storage in the cloud. So we are going to click here. Now please remember this S3 is global service. Now when we were talking about EC2, that is regional service. That means we have to select some region here. But here when we open this S3, it default shows that it is global region. Now when we talk about Imagine S3, store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere. So what we are going to do, we are going to create one bucket, and this name should be unique. So we will name it as unet demo website. So we are taking one big name so that it should be unique. So in most of the hands-on we will be using this name, and in your case you can choose according to your need. And please remember, although it is global service, but still we have to choose some region, AWS region, because it is going to store our bucket, and it is going to replicate that bucket in different availability zone in that region. So in our case, because most of our resources we will be generating in Asia Pacific Singapore region, so we are going to select this. Then whether ACL disabled. So initially what we are going to do, we will keep the default options, and block public access settings for this bucket, because your data is going to be private. Later on we will see how to make this public. So if you want to keep your data public, objects public, private, then what you have to do, you have to choose the default option, block public access setting for this bucket. So we are not unselecting this, this is selected. Then different options are there, bucket versioning is there, tagging is there, encryption is there, and then advanced settings are there. But in our case, first we will choose the default options. So in our case, let us click on create bucket. So this bucket will get created. Now successfully created the bucket unet demo website. So when you are going to go there, it will show you the different properties of this. Here also later on we can enable bucket versioning or encryption type of thing. But now what we are going to do, we will go to our bucket and we are going to upload one object. So how to upload? You have to just click on upload. Then we are going to say add files. In our case, our data is in C data folder. So in our case, we are going to put some file there. So I have collected the data. Here we are going to put this firewall image. So I'm going to say upload, select the file. Then what are the permissions? Property, it is not showing anything because in our case we did not choose that ACL enabled. So here during upload we cannot set the permission whether it is public or private. So by default it is going to be private. Then this is very important, which storage class, although we will be going into the details of different storage class. So by default the storage class will be standard. Standard mean when you have to frequently access the data with millisecond access, and by default this data will be stored in minimum 3 availability zones for fault tolerance purpose. Then we have got intelligent tiering is there. That means if suppose 10 objects are in your bucket and 5 of them are very less assessed, that means we are assessing it after 3 months. So if you are going to choose intelligent tiering, what will happen? It will move that object into like a standard 1A type of thing, so that less charges are there. Then different storages are there. We will go into the details what are the different storage type, but here in our case we will just in properties we are just going to say upload the file. Now it is going to upload the file. Upload succeeded, and we are going to close the menu. Now this is the file. So what we are going to do, we are going to click on the file. So when we are going to click on the file, please remember it is going to give one unique URL for this object URL, and how it HTTPS, our that bucket's name and the region and that image, that is unique, and where we can open that in our browser. So by default, if you are going to look at what it is showing, that access is denied, because in our case the bucket was private and this object was also private, so no access is there. So later on we will see how to make it public. So by default, if your objects you want to keep the object private, so this is the way you can do that. Later on we will see how to make this public so that we can access this object.